Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the class. Now we are in the new year, that is 2022, and you all must have enjoyed your winter vacation. And now it's time to restart our studies. So, we were doing the chapter Understanding Media, and under this chapter, we have read about the media. What do we mean by media? Mm, the sources through which we get information about our surroundings are the media. Media is the plural form of medium, and we have also discussed about mass media. Mass media is when so many people, when there is communication with a large number of people at the same time, then it is called mass media. The example of mass media is like TV, radio, newspaper. These are all mass media. Then we have also discussed about electronic media. First of all, print media. Yes, print media example are like newspaper, magazines. These are example of print media. Then electronic media examples are yes, radio, television. And technology has a very important role to play in media, because uh, technology keeps changing, and accordingly the means of communication, the media also changes, you know? And whatever uh, media is whatever technology is being used at present, that will change in coming 10 to 15 years, and then complete scenario will be different. And we have also discussed that media needs money. So many expenses are there. When you see the news reader who is reading the news, it's not that sees only the employee who is being paid by the newspaper agency. Actually, the TV channel. Actually, there are so many people who are helping in broadcasting of this news item. So it's a very costly affair, we can say. You know? So many expenses are there. So media, especially we can say mass media, needs money. You know? It needs to earn money. And one of the most important way of earning money is advertising. You must be watching in television, in newspaper also, in radios also, there are advertisements. And through these advertisements, what is the purpose of advertisements? The companies advertise their produce in the hope that um, their demand will increase, their sale will increase, because people will become aware of the benefit of that product and they will purchase that product. So they do advertisement, and for that advertisement they pay money to the TV channel, to the newspaper agency, to the radio channels, all. Okay. And now we are discussing media and democracy. Media plays a very important role in democracy, because democracy is the rule of the people, and it is the people who cast their vote, who decide who will be the ruler, and who will be uh, like at present Narendra Modi is the prime minister, and the Bharatiya Janata Party is the ruling party, you know. But it will not remain the same. In the coming 5 years there will be an election, and in this election people will decide that Narendra Modi will continue as PM or not, BJP will continue as a ruling party or not. It will be decided by the people. So people is the most we can say people has the ultimate authority. Ultimate मतलब सबसे अंतिम वाला power, है ना? Ultimate, उसके ऊपर कोई भी नहीं है. So the people are the ultimate authority. People have the ultimate authority. Now, how the people will decide that whom they should give their vote? The people can decide only by getting correct information about the functions which are done by the ruling party and the prime minister and his ministers and all. And so this becomes very important. How where from where we get this information? It is through the media. Through the media, we become aware of the functions of the government, the actions taken by the government. If any mistake is done by the government, that also comes to the people, to the knowledge of the people. So this is very important role played by media in a democracy. But here we must understand that this role becomes very uh, important because there is need of a balanced news. है ना? We were discussing this. है ना? There should be balanced news. Like we have seen that there was a decision by the government that the polluting factories which were there in the residential areas, they will be closed down, and then they will be relocated at some other place. So the thing is, the factories are polluting, and they are in the residential area, and now they are to be relocated. And now we will compare the this same news which was published in two newspaper in a different manner. Like we have discussed about news of India report, and um, today we will discuss this India daily report, है ना? ये दो न्यूज़पेपर है in news of India report. So the second one is India daily report. So we have seen that this news of India report, it has published the news that the owners and workers are protesting violently against the order of the government, and people are not able to do their work because of this protest. And it was also given in the news that the protester, the owners and the staff of these factories, they were very much knowing that their units are not legal because it is in a um, residential area. So they were knowing that they will be removed from this place and they will have to be relocated. Still they are doing this much of protest. And then one view of Mr. Jan was also given, who was saying that this our city is becoming India's business hub, so it is important that it should be clean and green, and polluting factories, they must move uh, away from this residential area, है ना? And the factory owners and workers, they should accept the relocation offer uh, given by the government, and they should not protest. So in this news report, we see that the protest, the staff and the owner of the factory, they were shown in a bad light. It is shown that they are causing trouble, है ना? But on the other hand, we see that when we read the news of this India Daily Report, what we find that it says that 1 lakh factories, the closure of 1 lakh factories in cities residential area is becoming a serious issue, because if 1 lakh factories are closed down, then you can just imagine the number of staffs who became unemployed because of this, है ना? Who are facing so many problems because of this. So uh, the newspaper says that these people took to the street, and they said that their livelihood would be lost, and mm, mm, they were these protesters were of the opinion that it was the fault of the municipal corporation, because municipal corporation was knowing that it was not legal to to give issue license to these for the look for the setting up of the factories in residential areas, still it has issued the license. So why it issued us license? So this is the question of the protester, है ना? And जो relocation के लिए जो offer दिया जा रहा है government का, that is also not satisfactory according to the protester. They are of the opinion that they will be in a great problem. So the owners and workers, they are planning a one-day city band so that they can protest against this closure. And in that paper, we find that this news is given in a balanced manner. So this is very much important. If the news is not given in a balanced manner, then people will not be able to understand the the intention of the government, and who is right, who is wrong. Because हमने अगर न्यूज़ ऑफ इंडिया रिपोर्ट को देखा तो according to that report, the protesters, the owners and the staff of the factory, they were mm, they were not doing according to the rules. They were the in a way they are the culprit. But अगर हम इसकी रिपोर्ट को देखते हैं, इंडिया डेली रिपोर्ट, सो देन व्हाट वी फाइंड कि दिस इज करेक्ट. They have given a balanced opinion. Okay, and now we come to a new term, that is censorship. What we find that it is really very difficult to be independent for media. Media must be free in order to provide correct information, correct news to the people. It is very much required that the media should be independent. But we find that mm, it is not something which can be achieved very easily, because there are so many tools in the hands of the government through which it can control the media. And one of the most important tool we can say is censorship. Censorship, what do we mean by censorship? Censorship is uh, like the government prevents any news item, or any scene from a movie, or any lyric of a song from being shared with the larger public. This is called censorship. It means कि government is having a kind of control over what people should mm, see, what people should listen, है ना? लोगों को अपनी मर्जी से वो नहीं देख सकते हैं जो देखना चाहते हैं, अपनी मर्जी से वो नहीं सुन सकते हैं जो सुनना चाहते हैं. द गवर्नमेंट इज हैविंग कंट्रोल ओवर ऑल दीज थिंग्स. किसी भी मूवी से किसी सीन को हटा लिया जा सकता है, किसी भी मूवी से के सॉन्ग से किसी लिरिक को हटा लिया जा सकता है, किसी भी न्यूज़पेपर में जो न्यूज़ आना है किसी न्यूज़ आइटम को हटा लिया जा सकता है बाय द गवर्नमेंट. दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल सेंसरशिप. Okay, so in our country we have independent media. The media is independent. Our democracy is very much strong. But there was period like emergency period between 1975 to 77 when we find that this kind of independence of media was not there. Okay, and now we will see that the media sets agenda, setting agenda. The media plays a very important role in uh, deciding what stories are important, on what stories we should focus. है ना? So everything is decided by the media. Like um annual function of your school is going on. That annual function is not a focus for the media. But if Amitabh Bachchan comes as the chief guest in the annual function, then your annual function becomes focus of the media. So it is media who which decides what is to be seen by the people. ये मीडिया डिसाइड करती है कि लोगों को क्या देखना है, हम नहीं डिसाइड करते हैं कि हमें क्या देखना है. इट इज़ बीइंग डिसाइडेड बाय द मीडिया. आपको क्या दिखाया जाएगा, दैट इज डन बाय द मीडिया. दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल सेटिंग द एजेंडा. इसी को हम कह रहे हैं एजेंडा सेट करना. दिस इज द फंक्शन ऑफ द मीडिया. है ना. So like if there is any problem, some people are facing any problem in the country, and if the media is giving attention to that problem, then the whole country becomes aware of the problem of the people of that area. But it may happen that that any group of people are facing a acute problem anywhere in the country, but the media is not focusing on that story. So then what happened, people will not become aware of that problem, and there will not be solution to the problem. Also the solution will also not be um, uh, the solution will also not be decided कि क्या किया जाए इसका. जब मीडिया में कोई चीज़ आती है, तब उसके लिए एक्शन करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट कंपेल हो जाती है. द गवर्नमेंट बिकम्स compelled to act if some news comes in the newspaper. But if the news does not come in the newspaper, then the government is free. So this is what is the message, that the media sets the agenda. आपको क्या देखना है वो आप नहीं डिसाइड करोगे, मीडिया डिसाइड करेगा. मीडिया वही दिखाती है जो वो चाहती है ना. सो दिस इज द थिंग which we experience in a democracy. Okay, here one example is given in your book, like the media drew our attention to alarming level of pesticides and cola drinks. है ना. जो सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक्स होते हैं उसमें बहुत ही ज़्यादा लेवल था पेस्टिसाइड्स का, एंड मीडिया ड्रीव आवर अटेंशन टुवर्ड्स दैट प्रॉब्लम. सो देन व्हाट हैपेंड, दैट they published this report that there is a presence of high level of pesticides in the cola drinks, and people become aware of this problem, and it was understood by the government also that there is need to regularly monitor these cola companies, है ना. So the government became active, and uh, the problem was solved, है ना. But when we see that when media was covering this story, it helped us focus on an issue that affects our lives, and one that we might not even have been aware of it had it not been for media reporting. If media is not reporting, then we are not aware of that problem, है ना. Not only because of report of media, not only we become aware of the problem, but the solution is also uh, done to the problem, है ना. And many times we see that the media fails to focus on many issues which are very much significant in our lives. So it does not mean कि if media is not focusing on any issue, that is not important. Like drinking water, which is a major problem in our country, and so many people suffer and die because they do not get safe drinking water. So that is a very big problem of our country. But many times it happens that the journalists are not paying attention to these problems. Instead they pay attention on the fashion week, है ना. in which we see that the clothes designers, they are showing their new creation to rich people. So this is what is the message. This is what we understand by setting agenda. The media sets agenda. जो मीडिया में आती है चीज़ें, हमें लगता है, we feel like this कि only that is important, but it's not reality. You must understand this, that it's not कि अगर कोई चीज़ मीडिया में नहीं आ रही है तो वो important नहीं है. That is also important. This is what we need to understand in order to be a, a visual citizen of the country. Okay, and now we have another this local media. Local media is also very important nowadays. Local media, uh, the news of the uh, our locality, our neighborhood के जो news होते हैं उसको हम local media कहते हैं. Okay, so media cannot cover all these small issues of the ordinary people, and everything is being reported by the media. So this role is now being played by the local media. We have one example like this Khabar Lahariya. It's a newspaper, Khabar Lahariya, which is published fortnightly, and it is run by 8 Dalit women in Chitrakoot district of UP. है ना, 8 Dalit women run this Khabar Lahariya, and these people, this newspaper is written in local language, and that is Bundeli, and in this so many Dalit issues, cases of violence against women, and political corruption, everything is dealt with in detail. So this is the role played by the local media. Through local media, we become aware of our local news. And world news is also important, international news are also important, the news of the nation is also important, but we must be aware of our surroundings, of our locality, of our neighborhood. So this news is being provided by the local news, and it also plays a very prominent role in today's democracy. Okay, so this is all for today, and in the next class we will start a new chapter.